All right, everybody, we have Coach coming in. We'll get started with questions from Kent as soon as she is ready. Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. We will get started with questions from Kent. Kent, go ahead.
Yeah, to just talk about the way your team started today. I think they scored the first 13 points of the game, just set a tone that really was never changed. I mean, set a tone that lasted through the whole game.
Yeah, I was really happy to see that. Obviously, I thought we were on it. I thought we felt really prepared. There were some things we were disappointed in last time we played these guys, and I thought we were pretty locked in to try to improve those things. And we talked a lot about the turnovers, and that was something we want to do better and get some shots on goal. And I thought we handled that pretty well. Thought we were hard to play against defensively. We cleaned up some things again that we saw on video that we said that we needed to be better. If not, we weren't going to be able to win the game. So I thought they really took that to heart. And I thought we were, Sil was incredible defensively. She was so good. It was a shame, sometimes foul trouble knocks you off your stride a little bit. But Sil, I just thought Sil was incredible patrolling the paint.
Coach, less than 2 weeks ago, you guys flew back from Seattle after a really, really difficult game for a 3-game homestand. Just talk about the difference in mood and the way you feel about how things are going in really a very short period of time.
Yeah. And again, just remember just kind of where we were, just a terrible training camp and disjointed and not really understanding our identity or, not even having, your full identity a part of it. And so that's what I remember. And so it's hard to be a good team playing against good teams, playing Seattle, come out of the gates playing Phoenix, almost steal that game. We would have felt really, really good about that. And then go to New York and I think about those games and I just think about how far we were. And then, the schedule really helped us in terms of the time off. We talked about the last 2 weeks. I think that really, really helped us. And I'm impressed with our team and they all have high expectations of themselves. That's why they're here. And so they just, scratched and clawed and figured out, being prideful, what we wanted to get better at. And we stuck together type of thing. That's so important, because things could go the wrong way in a hurry. Losing can be very, very contagious, as can winning. And so we just needed to, kind of get some practices and get home and find our identity. And we're winning games that, hard games, like Connecticut win, signature win, in that case that I think really helped us overcome the Atlanta situation last game, and then obviously catapulted us into playing as well as we did today.
Mike Cook, go ahead. Mike, go ahead.
I'm going to call you Mute Mike.
There we go. Let's try that now. Is that better?
That's
sorry,
perfect.
Coach. We'll get this figured out. Hey, a good team win. 5 players. What's that?
The only way that I know that it's you. They say Mike Cook.
I appreciate that. But hey, a lot of balanced scoring tonight. Even Rachel Banham had probably her best game of the year. How nice is that to see?
What do you mean, even Rachel Banham?
Okay.
I told Rachel Banham, we just same thing for her. Just needed some good things to happen to her. Just really struggling. Played great in the preseason game against Washington, and told her I really hadn't seen her since. And so we had just a couple conversations and what she needed to do. And obviously when a scorer makes shots, it feels really, really good. And but it goes beyond that for us. If anybody's paying attention, I think Rachel Banham's a hell of a lot better defender than what she was ever as a Gopher. It means more to her for some reason. Maybe job security is a part of that, but I think that for Rachel to see a few go down had to feel great. But she's given us decent stuff on the defensive side of it. I just think offensively, we just showed her you're trying to do things that are difficult, and shot creation is not in her wheelhouse per se. And so we just tried to do things that use cutters around Rachel, and Rachel was locked in. And so when I made that substitution, I felt really good about that she would at least play hard. I didn't know if she'd make her shots or not, but I'm really happy for her to see some go down.
Danny, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. So you stressed not turning the ball over a lot going into both of these games. How did you kind of flip the script on Atlanta and kind of make that your own strength with how much you forced turnovers and got points off transition in this game?
Yeah, that was really helpful to the overall offense. And I just thought we had lanes crowded. This is a team that lives in the paint. There were certainly some very, very disappointing moments in the game, but that's what the game is about. There were far more great moments, but the moments that we got easier to play against, we were letting them in the paint. The moments that we were locked in, the lanes were hard to find, and our help recovery with a sense of urgency, or sometimes helping the helper and just scrambling around. I thought that was really good for us to that I thought led to getting deflections, things seemed a little bit harder. And then I just thought Sil was so good in the paint. Early in the game, it seemed like they were trying to play to their roller a little bit more. Fee had, I think it was first play of the game, she came over with her early help because I think somebody got behind Sil, and Fee came over and had a nice situation where she helped her. And we were just really confident in what we were doing there. And, like I said, for the better part of the game, we were pretty good. We got more than our 20 deflections that we shoot for. And that's always a sign of activity. And, that was key to our success for sure.
Thanks.
Neil, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Coach. Kind of piggybacking off that one there, regarding turnovers. You were also just a lot better, even in the half court offense. It seemed like the ball movement was really crisp and things like that. What do you attribute your sort of improved half court offense this evening to?
Well, I think gaining confidence when you play against a team like that, the more you see it, the better you understand what's there and what to do and what not to do. So I thought we were really engaged in that. We gave them a couple of adjustments so that they couldn't steal possessions when they went to their trapping and to their press, their full court press. We were fully expecting. And I thought each time, that they did that, we were really, really locked into our execution. Video helps that. And so I just think offensively, we've been a part of an evolution. The practice time, really good. And I just think that, the second half of the last game, we gained some confidence in how we could get the spacing that we wanted and get some open looks. And obviously when they go down, makes everything easier.
And one more quick one on top of that. You talk about your team felt like they were really prepared for this one. And then you just mentioned again, sort of, the series aspect of this, having the same team twice back to back. Is that something you think is like a strength of you as a coach or you as your team, is to be able to kind of lock in, and that second game, you're going to play a lot better?
We did approach it that way. We talked about that sort of training, that this is a series, and it's a tie break situation. You want to try to collect as many tiebreakers as you can throughout the season, because you don't know when you're going to need them. And so the unique opportunity to be at home in sort of a series type of situation, was advantageous for us. And so we just took that on as a mindset that, we said, well, look, we won game one. Okay, great. But it's a series. You got to win the next one. Otherwise game one doesn't feel as good. And so that's what you do. We talked about that in a playoff series. That's what you do. Both teams go back and look at the video and see what they can do better. We had to be ready for adjustments that they were making against us. And I certainly wanted us to be better in terms of taking care of the ball. And so I think really valuable, in this unique year of, scheduling the same team a couple of times in a row. So we just tried to, to find some value in that.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll go 2 more questions. We'll go Kent and then Hobie. Kent, go ahead.
Okay, Coach. You talk about the time that you've had and how the schedule broke your way. Just to give you guys time to practice together. The 2 players, Kayla and Fee, who were in Europe. Kayla was here for the first game, but she wasn't here for camp, and Fee obviously wasn't either. Do you see? Is this a kind of a glimpse of what this team can do when you have those people truly integrated into what you're doing, especially maybe on the offensive end?
Yeah, I think so. What was really helpful today was the bench had 38 points. So yes, that's true. But the success of that group is what allowed us to get through when they cut it to 6. So we needed everybody. So I think it's more a sign of, learning more about K-Mac and how to coach her and what needs to be coached. Fee still doesn't know our plays. So hopefully, the more she plays, the more knowledgeable she'll get. I said, well, could you act like you've been here a couple of years? But That I think that, yeah, for sure. And then the next layer for us is hopefully Aerial Powers gets a chance to play for us soon. So we're still getting there. And then I think we'll be stronger for it. When Bridget Carlton goes back to the bench and is coming off the bench, I think that's going to be really valuable. I think Natalie's gaining momentum. So yeah, I do think that this is a glimpse. It's only a couple games. So just like we didn't want to get too worked up over a couple losses, you got to do the same, never too high, never too low. But obviously it certainly feels good to find some success.
Okay, Hobie, take us home.
Hey, Cheryl, you mentioned the word identity earlier and how you guys are starting to find one. What would you say is the team's identity right now? Is it what you expected, like what you guys are building to?
Yeah, I do think that from a defensive standpoint, as I told him, I really think we're defending in the quarter court really, really well. The scouts are preparing our team. They're absorbing the information really well. They're applying strategy well. The points off turnovers, or fast break points, I don't want that to be our identity. So that's something we're still looking to shore up. Offensively, playing with greater flow and movement and sharing the ball. I thought Leja was a big part in that last game of showing what's possible, through penetration, and you got shooters all around. They have to make difficult choices, and so I think our identity is it's not just about pounding it inside to Sill, but you can when Natalie and Fee play together at the 4-5, you got Fee that can work the post, and so I think we have a good idea of how to use the players. I think that they're just starting to understand how hard you have to play. I get disappointed when we get out rebounded, so I'm not happy that happened today. I'm not happy that they come down in transition, blow a layup, get a follow-up, blow that layup, and we still didn't compete for a rebound. Bigs never got across half court. That can't be a part of our identity. So those are all things that we're still, trying to say, you get what you accept, and I'll never accept that. And so, I think that's what we're working towards, being hard to play against and being able to finish plays. That's when when we get to that point, we can do those things. That's when I think we'll become a really good team, because when you're playing off your defense.
Great. Thank you so much, Coach. Have a great night and have a great trip.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks. All right, guys, I have Fee with me.
Hey, Fee, congrats on the win. We will get started with questions from Kent. Kent, go ahead.
Hey, Fee, if you could contrast how it felt in the locker room today with how it felt on the plane ride back from Seattle less than 2 weeks ago.
Well, it always feels good to get a win, especially at home. I think morale is definitely a lot higher because I thought we played really good defense. Our rebounding wasn't up to par at all times, but we helped each other, and it's fun to play that way. So definitely a few huge steps away from what we felt when we left Seattle.
Hobie, go ahead. Hobie, you can go ahead.
Hey, you got me? My computer's acted up, sorry. Fee, whenever you have the off season and you're putting all the pieces together and the team's starting to come together on paper, is this the kind of night that kind of epitomizes what the expectation was coming into this season?
I think this is definitely the path that we want to be on. There's things that we still want to work on, obviously, but it's really early in the season. So if we can continue to build on what we did tonight, I think we're going to be okay for sure.
What was working so well tonight?
I think our defense was really good. Again, we need to finish it with a rebound, and that's the things we need to work on. But our initial actions off the defense was really good. And I thought our offense flowed a lot better than it did when we played them on Friday, too.
Danny, go ahead.
Hey, Fee, great win. I was wondering if you could talk a bit about the value of kind of turning deflections and steals into offense in this win. I know that preventing turnovers was something that was stressed a lot going into this game. So how did you manage to kind of flip the script on Atlanta and cause chaos for them?
Deflections is something that we keep track of every game. It's always been really important to us because we know that it gets in teams' heads and we can turn those into steals, which gets us more shots on goal, transition, things like that. So we don't have to set up in the half court every time. So it's definitely something that's really important to us. And I thought we did a great job of it today.
Thanks so much.
Kent, did you have another question?
I did not. Thank you.
Alrighty, any last questions for Fee? Alrighty, thank you, Fee. Have a great night.
Thanks. What's the rest of this?
I'm trying to find it. Oh, I'm sorry, damn. It's heavy. All right, guys, we have Kayla here.
Hey, Kayla, congrats on the win. We'll get started with questions from Kent. Kent, go ahead.
So 3 straight wins. Can you talk about how it feels in that locker room now compared to the way it felt coming home from Seattle less than 2 weeks ago?
I mean, it feels good. Obviously, to win, it feels good to be at home, get some wins, the way that we have. But I think the difference is winning the way that we are. I think especially tonight, it was just a testament. It was a whole total team effort, and that's the way we have to play on both ends of the ball. So I was really proud of that. Shout out Rachel Banham, Nat, Jess, Crystal. When our bench is playing like that, man, it's really hard to stop us. So I was really proud of just how we kind of trusted each other and kept coming together. Obviously it sucks to lose, but I don't think anybody really panicked. And we came back and, when adversity hit, we responded. This is just our response. Hopefully we can build on it.
Mike Cook, go ahead.
The turnover battle, you guys had 20 turnovers on Friday, just 10 tonight, but yet you dominated in that area. Was there something different that was going on, or just more success, more energy, that kind of thing by the Lynx?
I think it's just when you play the same team twice in basically 48 hours, you kind of learn something from the first game. And I think we were able to learn from the first game and just kind of find our pressure releases, get to the basket, and apply that pressure and make them collapse, kick out. I thought we did a great job of just sharing the ball. Everybody contributed. And shout out our point guards, Leish and Crystal, Rachel, just handling the rock, getting it where it needs to go, keep moving. We wanted to get, make them have to make multiple efforts on the defensive end like they do to us. And I think we did a good job of that tonight.
Danny, go ahead.
Hey, Kayla, congrats on the win. I was wondering if you could talk about what's helped you kind of find your rhythm from the 3 in the last few games.
Just taking my shots. It's hard coming to a new team and kind of just, finding your way. On defense, it's just about effort and energy, but on offense, it's more feel and just, letting your teammates trust you with the ball. And I think, after last game, my teammates, just in practice and, moving forward, my teammates are starting to trust me a little bit more. But honestly, I was just trying to come out and be confident and be aggressive. Like I said, playing the same team twice in 48 hours is hard. So just kind of coming out with a lot of confidence and knowing who I am. I think a lot of people kind of forgot my ability to shoot last year and maybe the year prior to that. But that's what I do, and that's what Coach brought me here to do, is to score and be an outside threat for this team. I think we have great penetrators. Obviously, we have great inside presence with Sil. Fee is dangerous at all times. So just kind of being that person that can kind of space the floor is my job. And that's why Coach brought me here, to be confident. And I've just been able to kind of fall into that role these last few games.
Hobie, go
Thanks
ahead.
so much.
Sure.
Kayla, the more you practice and you play with teammates that you haven't played with before, especially with the training camp that you didn't have, and so many people arriving late, do you feel like you guys are starting to find an identity together? And what would you say that is, especially after the last 3 games?
For sure. I think it's about trust. It's about being connected, and I think that it starts on defense. I think when our defense is able to stand up and hit adversity and push through it, that's when our offense gets way easier. And we're playing in transition. We're attacking the basket. Because when you're constantly getting scored on, taking the ball out, and having to go run 5-on-5, we don't want to always do that. So I think our identity is slowly and surely becoming a defensive-oriented team that plays in transition and just kind of plays off each other, gets into the paint, kicks out, play through Sil, play through Fee. And that's just kind of what we're kind of falling into. But it's hard in this league because it's going to change every game. But we got to stick to our guns, especially on defense and rebounding. That's what Coach Reeve is known for. So, that comes first, and the offense comes. But, I think that right now, these last 2 games, it's been a lot of fun just flying around on defense and just getting out in transition and having fun on offense.
Any last questions Oh, sorry, go ahead, Hobie.
Is a game like tonight kind of why you wanted to come here and be at peace with the type of team is being put together?
I mean, honestly, there's so many reasons why I wanted to be a part of Minnesota Lynx. But honestly, playing in front of that crowd tonight, putting the Lynx jersey on, knowing what that represents, seeing players who have won championships on the bench, playing with the player who's won multiple championships here, having that championship culture is what it's about. And obviously, we're still figuring each other out on both ends of the floor, but having that culture to stand on is something that kind of carries us through the adversity, because a lot of people who are in this group, in our circle, have been here before. So when you have that, you have the confidence to push through. And, like I said, playing in front of these fans has been a joy for me. I love it. Even after the game, just, they're sticking around while I'm doing the media after, it means a lot. And as a player, you want to go out and give your all when you have a fan base like we have.
Any last questions for Kayla? All right, Kayla, we're happy to have you here too. Have a great night.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We have
Thanks, Kayla.
Crystal. We have Crystal right outside, so she will be coming in quick.
What's up, Crystal? Please don't. All right, guys, we have Crystal here.
Hey, Crystal, congrats on the win. We'll get started with questions from Kent. Kent, go ahead.
So what do you think this team has kind of found in the last, maybe even less than 2 weeks?
I think we've gotten into a good offensive rhythm and then really focus on what our foundation is going to be on defense and then making that turn into our offense and get easy buckets.
Can you talk about the difference in mood? I mean, when you guys are coming back from Seattle, things were kind of tough. You were 0-4 coming off a tough game. And less than 2 weeks later here, you've won 3 straight at home. Do you get the feeling, can you talk about the contrast in mood on the team in the last 2 weeks?
Well, one, we wanted to turn it into a situation where we have to protect home court. Obviously, going into Seattle, we knew that was going to be a tough game, but we still want to try to get a win. But coming back, we had 3 straight home games, and we wanted to get those all to be wins. But after that, we just didn't want to feel like we did in Seattle. That whole situation felt, embarrassing, and we didn't want to be that kind of team that goes and put that kind of effort out onto the floor. So we wanted to turn that around.
Thank you.
And any other questions for Crystal? All right, Crystal, have a great night.
Thanks. Appreciate you, Crystal.
You guys just made her day. All right, everybody, that'll do it for media availability today. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and we will see you all in Washington.
Thank you, Corey.
Thanks.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.